What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
There we go.
And a long time ago, we decided that our channel was not going to be rooted in leaks and rumors. But
Even though that's what it was
every
first
once in
based
a
off of.
while, every once in a while, you get something or you hear something or you read something that just gets you going. And I texted Miguel earlier and I was like, as a fan, I have to make this video because I have to talk about this because I read this on my lunch break today at work. And I have not been the same ever since. I've just been so excited to talk about this. Miguel has not read this plot leak, this latest Avengers Doomsday plot leak. If you're here, I assume you know that this is about an Avengers Doomsday plot leak. And, you know, part of the reason that we don't cover these often on the channel is because I feel like by the time we cover one,
There's
and
another
this is
one.
for any film, you know, but
And then
whether it's a
another
Marvel
one.
film, whether it's a horror film, whether it's a DC film, like by the time you cover one, it's like the meme, another one. Like there's always something new coming out about a film. We learned this with Spider-Man: No Way Home. We learned this with Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills. We've been here before, right?
I couldn't even tell you how many Spider-Man
Oh my God, we
No Way
made
Home?
tons of videos about that when No Way Home was coming out, when Halloween Kills was coming out. Like that was a really fun time, and it's fun to talk about these things as fans. But you know,
We just can't keep up with it anymore.
We can't, and there are channels out there that you know they build from that, and they talk about these things all the time, and that's great, and I love that for them. That's not us, but as a fan. This latest Avengers Doomsday plot leak, which is extraordinarily detailed, has just really had me going and really had me excited. And based on what a lot of the scoopsters are saying, a lot of this is actually kind of checking out in a weird way. I think, you know, for me, and you can make up your mind in just a moment, Miguel. For me, I think the first half of this plot leak sounds pretty legit. I could see a lot of this coming to fruition. The back half, I don't know if it's been embellished. It's very obvious that this has been translated from another language. You know, you can tell there's some certain things that I'm like, that was translated. Like that word's got lost in translation. But this has made its rounds over the last 4 or 5 days. It originated on Twitter. Of course, you can't believe everything you find on Twitter, right?
Not Twitter anymore.
But whatever, X, whatever. It's why. Shut up. Anyways,
Musknet, guys.
This has made the rounds, and it's really gained a lot of traction. And I think, you know, a lot of times what kills me is that a lot of times it's the super detailed things. What I've found with plot leaks and rumors is that they go to the extreme. And oftentimes, what we actually end up getting in the film, you're kind of meeting in the middle of what you read and what you think you're going to get. So you kind of end up in the middle of the road here. But this one got me really, really excited, and I wanted to be sure to talk about it on the channel, about our boy Doom. So let's just dive into this thing. All right, this is the brand new supposed plot leak for Avengers Doomsday. And let me just go ahead and say now, if you are someone that this is going to ruin the film for you, if any of this ends up checking out, peace out now. Like, click off the video.
Bye.
Thanks for coming. Bye.
It's okay.
But if you're someone like us where you're just a Marvel fan, you know the lore, you know the characters, and it just makes you excited talking about it and talking about the possibility of like what all of this could mean and what could be going on in Avengers Doomsday, then let's dive into this thing together. So, spoiler warning before we get into the plot leak. So, latest plot leak coming to us from X, not Twitter, but really Twitter. It says, it all begins on Earth 10,005. We see Professor X and Magneto playing chess while devising a plan to attack another Earth. They have a bomb created by Beast. Suddenly, another Earth appears on the horizon, and this is Earth 96238, and the X-Men, who have faced similar situations before, spring into action. Arriving on Earth 96238, where it is raining, a group of Sentinels, along with Magneto, travel to New York City, transporting a destructive bomb. Now, we know from other plot leaks that there's some type of world-ending bomb that the X-Men have devised because apparently they've faced incursions before. Like, incursions are not something new to the Fox X-Men universe. This has been going on for quite some time, which I found interesting. Another small detail, but has been consistent with other leaks and rumors about the open. If you followed everything about the supposed opening sequence for Avengers Doomsday, the rain. Apparently, it is raining during the opening, and it's storming and things like that. So, small detail, but it's consistent with other things that we've heard. Meanwhile, Deadpool and Wolverine discover Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Tobey Spider-Man's presence, and a fight ensues. Most of the battle takes place on rooftops. Spider-Man defeats them, but in the end, it is too late. Magneto and the Guardians. I assume that this means the Sentinels, because it says arriving on Earth 96238. A group of Sentinels along with Magneto. I'm assuming the Guardians, this was a lost in translation thing. Magneto and the Guardians have already destroyed New York and New Jersey, which is consistent with what Sir Ian McKellen has said on, was it Jimmy Fallon that he was on, where he was talking, he made his Mar-Lago joke. He said the Russos were like, say the scariest thing you can think of, like when he was filming that scene and he was yelling Mar-Lago and like Trump stuff. So that's consistent. That is consistent with what we've heard Ian McKellen literally say out of his mouth. Spider-Man, again, this is Tobey, remains on his knees contemplating the destruction. Wolverine tries to explain why this is happening, but Magneto finds them and steals the device to activate the bomb. Spider-Man tries to attack Magneto, but is defeated in the fight. Wolverine tries to save him, but it's too late to escape. From Charles Xavier's window, Raimi's Earth explodes, and Magneto and Deadpool return through the portal, leaving Wolverine behind. So that's kind of the first sequence here. Now, in my brain, I like all of that. I think a fight sequence between Tobey, Spider-Man, and Magneto would be like, I mean, I don't know how Tobey would end up fighting him because, dog, it's Magneto. Like,
yeah, I think everybody, at least in the chat or in social media, at least with the edits and leaks I found, is that everybody is pretty much rooting for Tobey. Like everybody knows that Tobey's universe is going to be going up in flames and getting control deleted. Yeah. So everybody's rooting for the underdog. Everybody's hoping to show Tobey Spider-Man to really put up a good fight. Yeah. So at least that portion.
Well, it sounds like he's going to.
Yeah, it sounds like that portion of the leak is like pretty straightforward. Like we know that scene is going to be a possibility. We just don't know the true actual details apart from this.
Right. What do you think about the whole? See, my take, and this is another thing that's consistent with leaks and rumors, is that Hugh Jackman and Deadpool are sympathetic towards Tobey, and they're like, basically like, man, we're sorry this is happening, but like, here's why this has to happen.
Do you think
as soon as there's like a touching moment between Logan and Tobey, that's when Magneto enters the picture and is like, no, hell with this. Like, we're blowing up your planet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, and the whole leaving Wolverine behind, like Magneto basically just grabs Deadpool and like they go back to their Earth.
Of all the people he grabs, I
know,
think that's
right?
Interesting.
Do you think Logan and Tobey are actually dead? Because I think there is no chance in hell that they're actually going to kill those two characters specifically in the first 20 minutes of this movie. I don't see it happening. I just don't.
Well, no, I'm not sold on that yet. I think we already know that they're coming back in Secret Wars, right?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this has got to be a setup for Secret Wars, and they're somehow going to return.
Yeah.
Now, we'll come back to that question towards the end of this, because there's something at the end of this leak that kind of alludes to that, possibly. I think the whole Tobey being on his knees, like contemplating like New York and New Jersey being destroyed, like that. Because again, if is he married to MJ? Do they have Mayday in this movie? Like, like that could be a really, really cool thing. I think the whole, the scene from the trailer we get where Charles is watching out the window as the Raimi universe explodes, and then Magneto and Deadpool return through the portal. Like, I imagine in my head, like the first thing I thought was like, that would be the best title card for Avengers Doomsday, is like just from the window that Charles Xavier is watching the Raimiverse explode from, just white letters on the screen. No big music, no let's go get this son of a bitch, no, like nothing. Just Avengers Doomsday in white letters as you see Tobey's universe blowing up in the background. And that would be the coolest, most somber title card. I don't know. Anyways, so this continues.
Start off with a bleak note.
For real though, like do
Yeah.
it. Like if you're gonna do it, I'm not gonna lie, Miguel. There's some things in this plot leak that I read, and I was like, damn, I didn't know Zack Snyder was directing Doomsday. Like it's dark. It's a lot darker than I would have expected. So we'll see if it pans out, Chief. The action then shifts to Tony Stark's funeral, which I thought was interesting. Steve speaks with some of the heroes, including Ant-Man, before embarking on a journey to retrieve, I assume this is return, the Infinity Stones. Traveling through time, he decides to stay with Peggy, and they have a son named Jim. It's the most random name, Jim. Steve and Jim. One day, Loki visits them. Upon seeing him, Steve immediately suspects something is wrong and thinks that he's going to attack them. However, Loki calms him down and explains that this isn't the same Loki he fought in the past, but a different godlike version who now controls the timelines of the multiverse. Isn't it this? It is the Logan they or the Logan. It is the Loki that they fought in the past, though.
It
right?
is the direct.
It literally is the Loki that they fought.
Loki, this Loki had, I think, Loki from obviously the season. Yeah, like he was. This was at the end when he steals the Tesseract in Endgame, and runs away, and the TVA catches him. So like this is like fresh off of Avengers with no character development. Yeah. So I don't know. So it stands to reason why Steve would be hesitant at first, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And so Loki explains to him, this is what he's doing. This is why he's here. He warns Steve about the existence of the TVA and explains that their presence in this era is causing an invasion. That's interesting. And that they will soon destroy this timeline because Steve should never have stayed there or had a child. So I guess the invasion, is he talking about Kang? Is that a reference to the Kangs? I feel like we have to reference Kang at some point. If we don't reference Kang, it's going to be weird.
Unless there's more that you're about to tell me, I think that's just misspelling in the translation. It's probably an incursion.
That's true too. It could be.
Yeah, I would assume it's an incursion.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's causing an incursion. You're right.
Yeah.
So I guess Steve created a branch. So we've got Loki. I'm trying to keep track of all. I was explaining to my wife, and she was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." I was trying to think of all the branch timelines that have been created. So you've got Loki, who left. He created his own branch timeline. You've got Steve, who joined this other universe. He's created his own branch timeline, right? To save them and prevent the collapse of their universe, Loki offers them a way out, transporting them to another place where they won't invade. It keeps saying invade. I don't know if it's saying where there won't be an incursion, right? To a universe where they don't.
Maybe the invasion is just the X-Men, I guess. Like in theory, the X-Men are.
Okay.
In theory, the X-Men are. It's pushing the narrative that the X-Men are the ones trying to knock off worlds.
That makes sense. Maybe it is the X-Men that he's talking about. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That would track.
Yeah, it's interesting to put the X-Men as an invading force. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're the second. They're the second biggest universe apart from MCU.
For sure.
Unless you're counting Sonyverse.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not gonna. I don't know. Unless they go there in Secret Wars, I think we're forgetting that the Sonyverse existed, except for Venom. I could see Venom showing up in Secret Wars, but whatever. So Loki offers them a way out, transporting Steve and Peggy to another place where they won't be invaded, to a universe where they don't exist and where they can live in peace. The Fantastic Four's universe, which is something we kind of thought about a while ago. Like we said, I feel like Steve is probably in the Fantastic Four's universe. Like that's probably where they're living. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a special card. We can actually see this in the trailer so that he can contact him. Steve and his family accepted the offer and have been living in the new universe for 10 years. The sequence continues with a scene showing events from 10 years prior. Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, and the Thing are at a baseball game. There's an accident involving the stadium fence, and Steve and Jim help people move and dismantle it. So I guess they're like working? I don't know. Ben notices something unusual, and when he goes to investigate, they receive a burglary alert from the Baxter building and panic, racing home in the Fantasticar. Upon arriving, they're surprised to find everything calm. There they see Dr. Doom with Stu, Storm, Herbie, and Franklin. Although Reed is surprised by their sudden encounter, he knows Victor very well. Reed, Ben, and Victor studied together at university. Sue knows Victor because he rules Latveria, a country not part of the Life Foundation. However, the connection runs deeper. It is well known that Victor lost his wife and son. Victor only became ruler of Latveria after, when he overthrew the brutal regime with his Doombots. Victor is, so to speak, Earth's Doctor Strange, a master of magic and sorcery. Doom is this universe's Doctor Strange. Their Sorcerer Supreme. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have thought that. That's kind of cool. I'm actually kind of about that. Because
I mean, part of Doom's powers is
right
technology and magic, so
was he ever the Sorcerer Supreme in the comics? I feel like he was.
Fuck, I
don't know. I don't remember if that's a thing. Somebody in the comments, if you're
let me Wikipedia.
a bigger comic expert than we are, let me know if that was actually a thing, because I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Because of this, in addition to the rumors about witches and witchcraft, Sue is nervous. Victor warns Reed that he fears their Earth will be the next victim of the incursions. Victor is very familiar with the it says invasions, which, again, could be the X-Men, and explains to the Fantastic Four that when the fabric between two realities is torn, the centers of each are drawn to one another, and once the invasion is successful, both universes cease to exist. Now, that kind of makes me think incursion.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The center, of course, is Earth. Reed and Victor investigate and discover 3 anomalies on their Earth, but in the same location. We see that Steve and his family grew up together on this Earth. Steve has a beard and long hair, of course he does, and James is now about 10 or 11 years old. Victor and Reed encounter these anomalies, but are surprised to discover that they are simply a happy family. Steve confesses and explains how he ended up there. They then warn Steve about what is happening in the multiverse, inspired by the Fantastic Four and their exploits in the forest. I don't know what the forest is. That's interesting. It makes no mention of a forest, so I don't know if that's a typo kind of thing or a translation thing. I don't know. Whatever.
Anything that sounds odd, I kind of just chuck it up to a possible typo. I'm not gonna put too much heart into this.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of the second chunk of this. So here's the next chunk, and this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thor and his adopted daughter Love travel through space together. However, Love is now plagued by nightmares about the incursions. Thor travels to New Asgard, where Valkyrie and Asgardian doctor, I can't speak, are examining a young girl who is dying due to the collapse of the multiverse. Valkyrie receives a call from the Avengers informing her of the ship's arrival on Earth. Thor leaves Love on New Asgard and heads to the Fantastic Four's ship. Sam Wilson's Avengers are also notified. Thor boards the Excelsior and is shocked to see Steve. Thor doesn't even believe it's him until he picks up Mjolnir. Thor and Steve embrace, and the Excelsior is forced to dock at the new Avengers Tower. As soon as they board, Sam's team arrives and immediately argues with Bucky about which team should take command. I think that's kind of funny. That I'm actually kind of excited.
It had to be brought up, honestly.
Yeah. Scott and Lang spend some time with Ghost. That's a cool reunion. Steve gets off the Excelsior, and almost everyone is surprised to see him. Steve has a pleasant reunion with Sam, Scott, and Bucky. He also shares a touching moment with it says Elena Belova, but I assume that's another translation thing. Elena, Yelena, whatever. Yelena Belova, as they discuss Natasha. That's an interesting conversation. I'm intrigued to see Yelena and Steve talking about her. That could be a really cool conversation. Steve Rogers brings the two groups of Avengers together with a Captain America-style speech focusing not only on the invasions, but also on the cosmic crisis. Sam and Steve make plans to travel to Wakanda, while Shuri tells Sam that she, too, is aware of the space crisis and is already working on a solution. So that's kind of the next little chunk of this. The group of heroes reunites with the people of Wakanda, and Steve is shocked to learn of T'Challa's death. Again, another interesting thing that we haven't ever really talked about, or at least
nobody's talked about
Steve,
T'Challa.
That'll be another interesting conversation. Learning that T'Challa is no longer around,
Yeah.
So, a small group heads to Telequan, where the effects of the space crisis are visible. The sky has turned red, and because of this, you're going to like this, Namor used all of the water that normally filled Telequan to... Is it...
Telecon.
Telecon. I never remember how to say it. Telecon to create a massive water barrier around it. Shuri and M'Baku then travels to Telecon along with Sue, Ben, Bucky, Ghost, Falcon, and it says the American agent. I'm like, okay, U.S. agent, not American agent, but
Yeah,
you know,
this is where the
whatever.
translation's
I know
getting
the
lost.
translation. The rest remain in Wakanda searching for a solution. Sue uses her powers to cross the barrier, and upon reaching Namor, discovers that he is extremely hostile. Which is, you talked about this the other day. You were like, Namor just wants to like throw hands with everybody for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the way Namor is, you know. He refuses to cooperate with Shuri, and this is where we see Sue's diplomatic skills in action. She manages to unite the people of Wakanda and the Tlokens. They refuse to Wakanda with Namor, and when they arrive, they discover that the situation is hopeless. No solution has ever been found. Reed even begins to believe that the multiverse's fate will always lead to death, but he remains open to other options. However, Victor suggests attacking the X-Men's Earth, which is causing it says invasion, and I'm going to assume an incursion between universes 828 and 616. Sam suggests a diplomatic approach, while 616 is the MCU, right?
You said 616, but
Yeah,
it's
I said
Earth 616.
616 is our Earth, though, correct?
Yes.
And I assume 828 is the Fox X-Men universe.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember there was a conversation about which universe we're in. It was 616 was implying comic book typical MC Marvel universe, and
that's what
like the MCU is supposed to be
timeline.
Yeah, and MCU is supposed to be like 10 something 999999 or something like that. But who the fuck knows? They made labels for labels at that point.
Yeah. Which Toby's was the 1090 whatever. That was Toby's universe.
It was another number, another set of fucking numbers. I don't know. There was
another 5-digit number that no one can remember.
Yeah, there was like three or four different like statements about like universes. It was in Multiverse of Madness. It was
they did talk about that, didn't they?
It was the second one, Far From Home. It was Miss Marvel in an interview. It was Kevin Feige said it as well, and also Kang, whatever his name was at that time. So there were so many labels that they gave different universes, and I just kind of just said fuck it at this point.
Yeah,
tell me what universe our universe is, and then let's just roll it for the next 2.5 hours.
Tell me what characters are in that universe. That's how I'll know.
Yeah.
That's how I'll know where we are.
Yeah.
Sam suggests, again, you're gonna like this. Sam suggests a diplomatic approach, while Namor believes that bloodshed is the only way forward. Namor's just Doom is like, I think we should go kill all the X-Men. Namor's like, done. Say no more. Let's go do it. Yeah. I'm down.
Namor is he wants to smoke every single chance he gets. He really
does. Scott dismisses the quantum dimension and mentions his encounter with Kang. Doom looks at Scott, referring to this comment. So I assume it's going to imply that Doom killed Kang, which is cool. I like that. You know, I think that's kind of cool. Steve rejects using the Infinity Stones, swearing that they are the reason for their current predicament. Reed jokes that Galactus would be useful in this situation, but that no one knows where he is. This joke gives Reed an idea. What if they used the same technology that they used to exile Galactus? Reed believes that if they build 3 cannons, one on each of the 3 Earths, it will figuratively help separate them. However, they must hurry because time is running out. Steve splits them into 3 teams, and one of them remains in Wakanda to begin constructing their cannon. Wakanda already possesses advanced technology that could easily replicate what the Fantastic Four did in First Steps. The team travels to Earth 828, which, let me rewind here. I think it's cool that they're, like, again, Wakanda is, like, kind of the central, like they're gonna base this like multiversal canon out of Wakanda. Like I think that's
I mean cool. the last stand for Infinity War is Wakanda. So
I know, sense. But I think it's kind of cool. We keep coming back to like Wakanda has the most.
It's the only place with significant tech because Tony is dead.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm curious, is Doom wearing the mask throughout the entire?
I don't know.
Time?
I wondered the same thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Or I know that
we've seen different versions of the suits, like at D23 and at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I wonder if he's wearing like what you see on the screen. Like, I wonder if that's his like final form battle. Like once we know that Doom is like Doom. You know what I mean? I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if that's what he'll be wearing, and if it's something a little more
Yeah.
low key.
I know some people. Were
Early
kind of
on.
upset. Would be upset if we kept getting what's it? RDJ's face in it, because
Yeah.
I get it. He is the moneymaker. He is what sells the tickets. But maybe if people were hoping that he just stays with the mask on the entire time and just
Yeah.
like push push the story of how he got it, or maybe
Yeah.
something happens
Well,
that causes him to
and
wear the mask.
is his face going to be super disfigured? You know what I mean? Because
That's
that's
what I'm trying to figure
that's a
out. Like
big
his,
part of Doom's story is that his face. Like
yeah,
that's why he wears the armor, because his face he's so disfigured. Like so, I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
yeah,
Um, so Wakanda already possesses the technology to to do what they're going to do. The team travels to Earth 828, specifically to the Baxter Building, to construct their cannon. So one cannon will be in Wakanda for 616. The 828 will be at the Baxter Building. The final team must travel to another Earth, which is the 10,005, and convince the heroes there to listen to the plan. This is considered the most important task, so the most famous heroes participate. Victor, Reed with Herbie, Sam, Yelena, and Shang-Chi are the ones who go. Steve feels uneasy around Doom and tells Thor and Loki about it. Thor insists that he takes him to Loki, so they devise a plan to reach the TVA using the map Loki left him. Sue and Shuri also have their own problems, and Sue admits to Shuri that something is wrong with Victor, so they explore other options on their own. The team remaining on Earth 616 consists of Shuri, Sue with Franklin, Namor, Steve, Thor, Ant-Man, and Red Guardian. The team going to Earth 828 consists of Johnny, The Thing, Falcon, U.S. Agent, Ghost, and Bucky. I kind of like those team breakdowns, I'm not going to lie.
yeah.
It's interesting characters that are going to be with each other and interacting. Like, I think that's I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
After traveling on the Excelsior, Reed, accompanied with Herbie, Sam, Yelena, Shang-Chi, and Doctor Doom, board a Quinjet bound for Earth 10,005. Upon landing at the X-Men mansion, they are immediately captured by a group of Guardians, I assume this is Sentinels, guarding the building. Doom remains outside for cover while the rest of the team stealthily enters. I think that's interesting. The X-Men have survived many incursions before and have become extremely hostile. They trust no one and believe that the heroes of Earth 616 and the Fantastic Four have come to destroy them, so they attack without any hesitation.
God damn.
I liked it. Like, dude, it's straight up painting the X-Men as just like fucking barbarians. Like at this point, like they're just like ready to kill everybody no matter what,
Yeah.
to protect their own.
Well,
universe.
they set the fucking precedent in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie, probably.
Yeah.
When they blow up Toby's universe, like, you know.
Right, for real. As they nervously wander the halls, Nightcrawler stalked them from the shadows. Upon reaching the danger room, they encounter Mystique. Yelena ignores Reed's direct orders and goes on the offensive. The battle is very intense. Mystique changes her appearance, first becoming Yelena herself, and then Natasha, which greatly annoys Yelena, though she eventually manages to regain her advantage. How does Mystique become Natasha? This is one of the things where I'm like, that sounds a little fanfic-ish. Like, she
Seems a little
doesn't
embellished.
know. She doesn't know what Natasha looks like.
I think she stays. I think she probably stays as Yelena. I know that in the scene, obviously. So,
right,
like that's established. I don't think it pushes. I don't think it goes any further than that. Maybe someone important, but I highly doubt it.
I mean, we know that we know that she becomes Yelena or she takes Yelena's form, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Where was I? Meanwhile. Excuse me, I'm battling cold. Meanwhile, Shang-Chi fights Gambit in a flawless and evenly matched battle that ends in a draw. Reed tries to contain Deadpool in a chaotic fight that culminates in a comedic Deadpool 2-esque moment when Wade sits on Reed's face. At the same time, Cyclops attacks Sam Wilson and fires an optic blast so destructive that it appears to kill him. The entire battle is suddenly interrupted when Beast, the figure shown in the trailer descending the stairs, appears. Realizing they pose no direct threat, Beast leads them to the medical bay, where they find Monica Rambeau. Monica is trapped on Earth 10,005 following recent events and is gravely ill from being in the wrong reality. Beast explains to Reed Richards that Monica's presence in this universe is accelerating the invasion of her Earth to a critical level. He also reveals that... and it doesn't say anything. It literally says he also reveals that ... So we don't know
funny.
what Beast also reveals. Finally, Reed and Doom managed to meet with Charles Xavier and Magneto. This is another conversation that I'm really intrigued in. Like Victor, Reed, and Charles and Magneto all talking to each other. Yes. Like, give that conversation to me.
Yeah.
As the frustrated X-Men watch, Reed and Doom present their true solution to prevent the multiverse's collapse, constructing massive cannons on each remaining Earth that will fire a force capable of permanently separating universes and preventing invasions once and for all. After an explanation, Reed manages to convince Xavier and Magneto to join the plan and refuse to use the destructive bomb. Upon returning to Earth 616, Steve and Thor left their group and headed for the TVA. The problem was that they found it destroyed and littered with the corpses of its agents. Mobius was there and arrived himself. Mobius helped Steve and Thor find Loki. They arrived at the end of time and saw Loki dead at the foot of the throne.
Aw.
Upon returning to Earth, this is where, bro, I was not prepared for the shit that I read in the back half of this. Upon returning to Earth 616, Steve and Thor left their group and I just read that. Sorry. Wait, no. Upon returning to Earth 616, Steve and Thor left their group and headed to the TVA. The problem was that they found it destroyed and littered with the corpses. I already read this. What the hell is going on?
You're good.
Oh, it's in here twice. That's why I'm like, I just read this.
Okay.
His heart had been ripped from his body. The Watcher appears and tells Steve and Thor what had happened. The cause was a group of followers and Doom. Then he took Steve and Thor to Earth 10,005 because everyone was in danger. What do you think about the Watcher appearing and intervening to tell Thor and Steve what was going on?
So the Watcher is canonically known to just like vow to
randomly
only watch.
Yeah.
But always break his vows. I don't fucking know why he always does.
Yeah.
It's
always at really random times too. Like I feel like
in
in all of comic book lore, it's not when like something crazy is about to happen. It's just like some random shit's going down, and it's just like the Watcher's like, "Hey, I have something to tell you." Like, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that he actually intervenes and like tells them that it's Doom. Steve and Thor return to Earth 10,005, and as the trailer shows Thor's arrival and the ensuing battle, Reed is completely stunned and refuses to believe that Victor did such a thing. He yells in Victor's face, but sadly it's true. Victor unleashes half a dozen Guardians Sentinels against the Avengers and the X-Men. The teams join forces to fight them. However, Deadpool leaves, promising to find proper reinforcements, and disappears from the battlefield. Doom fights all the Avengers and easily defeats them. The mutants are also defeated. Magneto fights Doom, putting up a decent fight, but ends up severely wounded in the arm. Unfortunately, Mystique, who saves Magneto's life, and Nightcrawler, who saves everyone from the Sentinels' attack and teleports them to safety, are killed by Doom. Yeah, I guess R.I.P. Mystique and Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's sad.
I like Nightcrawler. I'm not going to lie, Nightcrawler was always like top 3 X-Men for me.
Yeah. No,
and that might be a weird choice, but I really thought Nightcrawler was awesome. In a fight scene, the mutant Avengers are insufficient to defeat the Sentinels, and the Brotherhood. I don't know what the Brotherhood is.
I don't know. Give me more context.
The Brotherhood arrive to help. The Scarlet Witch of this universe, along with Polaris, Quicksilver, and other mutants, easily destroys all the Guardians. Doom finds what the Scarlet Witch of this universe was looking for. Steve realizes this and tries to save Wanda from this universe, but Doom's attack stuns him, and Wanda is taken. Victor uses the Ultimate Annihilator to destroy the X-Men's universe. The Avengers, the mutants, Reed, and Herbie escape by boarding the ship and traveling to Earth 828. The reality of the 10,005 universe was destroyed by fate. What's your take on that last little chunk? Because I don't know. First of all, what's the Brotherhood? I don't know about Wanda and Quicksilver and other mutants showing up. Like, that sounds a little odd to me.
I don't know. I think the Brotherhood is probably... I don't know. I don't remember what the Brotherhood was. Maybe the Brotherhood was Magneto's faction and X-Men 21st Century Fox universe. It could be. And then Wanda, Quicksilver, and all them. I mean, it's a multiverse, man. Like, anything can happen. Like, it's not too far-fetched. And I think they pointed the fact that if there are different horsemen's of I would say horsemen's, but like different helpers of Doom. Like Doom isn't doing this all by himself. Like he has help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's
For sure.
probably something of that in that regard.
For sure. Yeah. And then him using the Ultimate Annihilator to destroy the X-Men universe. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. So the remaining Avengers, Reed Richards and Sue Storm, tell everyone about Victor Von Doom's past, which we've seen this in the trailer too. That checks out as well. Bucky has a personal mission to save Steve. He now has a family and must save him. Peggy and James. She is not the original Peggy. She is a witch. The original Peggy is dead. That didn't make sense either. I don't fully understand. She tells Doom that they're in the Baxter building and he orders the attack. The witch reveals her identity and kidnaps James. The attack on New York begins and the Baxter building is shown about to explode with everyone inside. A shot, which is the shot of Franklin and Johnny in the trailer when Johnny is like holding Franklin. Franklin saves everyone and Charles admires Franklin as an Omega level mutant. Thor travels to Earth 616, prays to Father Odin, and a new squad arrives. It involves Jane Foster, Heimdall, and Loki from Infinity War. The inhabitants of Wakanda and M'Baku also arrive with Thor. Valkyrie and Korg are also there. Only 2 Earths remain in the entire multiverse. A portal appears in the sky, leading Earth 616 and then to Earth 828. The final attack begins, a showdown between Earth 616 and Earth 828. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men arrive in Latveria from the Baxter building with Thor and his army, along with the people of Wakanda, arrive from Earth, visible on the horizon. Victor returns Steve to his castle in Latveria. Steve gets up and sees Peggy following her to the altar, where a fateful chair with a symbol in the center, endowed with green magic, sits. Followers begin to arrive, surrounding Steve Rogers. The Green Witch is revealed to be Death. Doom arrives with James, the boy is crying, as Doom's followers restrain Steve. This is where I was like, damn, man, is this freaking the Snyderverse? Like, what are we talking about? As Doom's followers restrain Steve, Doom begins to speak to him, explaining that his interference was the reason for his downfall. Victor tells Steve that he was much like him, a family man. Victor studied the multiverse long before it began to collapse. He met his wife Valeria, and they soon had a son. Then one day, 10 years ago, during a routine experiment, an anomaly occurred when Loki transported Steve to Earth 828, causing the experiment to fail. This resulted in the deaths of his wife and son and left him horribly disfigured. He grabs James and stabs him, killing him instantly.
James?
Dude, they hold Steve down while Doom murders his 11-year-old child in front of him?
God, like, damn.
What? What? I read that and I was like, there's no freaking way that is really going to happen on screen. Like, that's nuts.
It seems pretty dark.
It really does. I'm like, it seems very dark. He he kills him instantly. The 3 witches are presented with Boris. The 3 witches are Death, the Ancient One, which is the orange one, and Clea, which is in purple. And Boris wears a 3-eyed helmet with armor. Doom personally ripped Loki's
who's Boris?
heart. I don't know. I don't fully understand that. Doom personally ripped Loki's heart from his chest. Now his heart is on display along with some other books. Victor corrupted Strange and Clea when they traveled to the Dark Dimension, making them believe that only he could save the multiverse. So this is going to be a Strange is on Doom's side here. Victor sits on his throne, preparing his team and the Doombots to fight the invaders. He orders Strange to begin casting a spell from the Darkhold using both Loki's heart and Wanda Maximoff's magic. Doom's followers are the leaders from each each of the destroyed universes. Victor's main objective here is simple: to allow the final incursion to occur and rebuild the multiverse to resurrect his lost family. Battleworld. On Earth 616, Sentry begins to sense something as amiss between Earth and the approaching next Earth. I was going to say, we haven't mentioned Sentry literally at all. Like, one of the most powerful beings, and we haven't even really talked about him. He unexpectedly encounters Vision and Tommy and Billy at the Avengers Tower. Vision activates Tony Stark's protocol for the world's heroes and realizes that preventing the incursion is impossible. Meanwhile, on Earth 828, the heroes arrive in Latveria from the Baxter Building, while Thor and his new Valhallan army arrive from Earth 616. Doctor Doom and his team have prepared for this attack. Doom's followers and hundreds of Doombots are present. Deadpool returns, abandoning the heroes of on Earth 10,005. He arrives with a multiversal team of Blade, Elektra, and Phantom Rider. I'm assuming
that's Ghost Rider.
Right.
That's Ghost Rider.
But Phantom Rider was also Carter Slade. They referred to Carter Slade's rider as Phantom Rider, but I don't see Carter Slade being the one that they throw in here. You know what I mean?
know.
It's not going to be Ryan Gosling. You know, there's no way it's going to be Ryan Gosling.
It might be. I don't know. It could just be Nick Cage.
But why would they do that, though? Why would they immediately throw him into the mix? Like, I feel like that would just be Nick Cage.
Yeah.
If it really was. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Elektra. I don't know what the hell Elektra's going to do. Like, bro, this is a lot of your league, Elektra. Sorry. A multiversal war erupts in Latveria, pitting the inhabitants of Wakanda, Thor's army, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four against the Doombots and their variants.
Did I hear Namor was in this at all? Yeah, there you go.
Namor
yeah.
and Shuri work together. Namor triggers a tsunami that destroys many of the Doombots. Shuri manages to infiltrate Doom's castle with Bucky to rescue Steve Rogers. Doctor Strange is the only member of Doom's team not involved in the events, as he is busy working on the spell involving Wanda, Loki's heart, and the Book of God. Two of Doom's followers are watching Steve Rogers when they are intercepted by the Avengers, Shuri, and Bucky, who rescue him. The action then shifts to Earth 616, where it becomes clear that something is happening. The sky is turning red, and hordes of Doombots and villains begin attacking New York City. They pass through a portal, a wormhole, and a scene similar to the one in 2000. It says similar to the 2012 Avengers movie where Tony takes the nuke up. So it's, I guess, envisioning something similar to that of the Earths colliding. Like there's a portal between 616 and the other one, and they're kind of fighting back and forth, whatever.
Yeah.
This is where this sounds. I love this, but it sounds a little fan fiction-y here, and I feel like this is being maybe a little embellished. The new Avengers team defends the Avengers Tower. Sentry, Tom Holland Spider-Man, Jean Grey, The Punisher, all of the Defenders, Wong, America Chavez, Cassie, Kate, Kamala, Star-Lord, Vision, She-Hulk, Bruce Banner's Hulk, Carol Danvers arriving with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and many others. They all heard Vision's call.
Oh. I was wondering what he meant by that.
Yeah,
like Avengers call.
So like Vision basically like used the Stark Initiative, whatever, to like call all of them, which would be cool. I mean, I could see it being like just kind of a cameo thing, like they're all there and they're all fighting, and you're getting a cool fight sequence with like everybody you've ever known, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That also maybe sounds a little too good to be true. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Could be cool. The attack on Earth 616 begins. Vision states that the next Earth is about to launch a direct attack. Sentry decides to perform a heroic act by flying into space to stop the attack with his bare hands, and he buys time for the others to escape. The war in New York is wreaking havoc throughout the city. Everyone is fighting Doombots or consumed by followers of Doom. Spider-Man and other heroes deliver excellent action sequences. On Earth 828, Sue Franklin and Charles Xavier are aboard Reed's ship, the Ark. I'm shocked that Charles Xavier has made it this far in the script. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's true.
I really am. Which
is
I
very
saw
true.
Something really funny. Hold on. Charles acts, prepared to withstand any change in a hostile environment and capable of surviving the collapse of the multiverse. Sue stays behind. She is pregnant. Okay. Charles acts as a mental link with all of the mutant Avengers so they can communicate. The mutants and Avengers so they can communicate with each other, and informs them that Bob is slowing down the other Earth so that they can escape. There, Yelena speaks with Bob, and he says goodbye to her and her friends. One of the witches intercepts this message and teleports to the ship. Here we go. Killing Charles Xavier and kidnapping Sue and Franklin Richards. I saw a comment on it was on a Reddit thing. I don't look at Reddit often, but I did just to see people's reactions to this. Somebody said, "Bro, Charles Xavier is our generation's Kenny from South Park." Like how they killed Kenny in just like the most rambunctious ways all the time. Like we're always finding a new way to murder Charles Xavier in the Marvel universe. Dude. So, What do you think about one of the witches? Like, could you imagine if it was like, it just says one of the witches, but I mean, like, could you imagine, what's her name?
Sylvie?
No, not
I think it
Sylvie.
might be Sylvie.
Really?
Yeah, I think one of the witches might be Sylvie.
I could see.
Because where the fuck has she been,
The
honestly?
Doctor
And it would
Strange
make
one,
sense.
the bald lady. What was her name?
The ancient one?
The ancient one, yeah. Could you, I mean, it'd be kind of cool if the ancient one was the one that killed Charles.
I don't know. It wouldn't make sense for it wouldn't
dope.
make sense for her to be in it, I guess. Well, I forgot what
She's one of the witches, dog. She's one of Doom's witches, apparently.
I don't think it is. It might be that Charlize Theron's character. I forgot what her name is.
Clea. It says Clea's one as well.
Yeah, Clea. And then it has to. I would assume Sylvie might be it.
I don't know.
Maybe it might be Sylvie, and Doom is just lying to her with something.
It said the three witches are Death, the Ancient One, and Clea. Death is green, the Ancient One is orange, and Clea is purple.
You mean tell me Aubrey Plaza is in this fucking film as Death?
But it also says, which is confusing too, it also said that there were 4 witch costumes, weren't there? There was one purple, there was one green, there was one orange, and there was one like pinkish red, which I assume is Wanda. And we know, according to this leak, at least we know Wanda's there. Like Wanda has a role in this. Like he's using her in Strange. So like, I don't know. I'm not following the witch part fully just yet.
Yeah,
and I feel like we don't have all of the as detailed as this plot leak supposedly is. That doesn't. I don't have all the details of that, and I'm not fully putting that one, together. Whatever. So one of the witches, we don't know which one, kills Charles. They kidnap Sue and Franklin. Cyclops, Reed, Sam, and Magneto realize what is happening and go to the ship to protect them, but they arrive too late. The Avengers, which is Johnny, Ben, Thor, Loki, Lady Thor, and the Avengers of the Multiverse, are at Doom's castle and emerge victorious in the war against the Doombots and their followers. Doom fights them all, defeating them one by one. Steve tries to strike Doom with Mjolnir, but it shatters, and Doom counterattacks with his sword. Bucky sacrifices himself to save Steve, dying and bidding him farewell. 3 witches kill Ghost Rider.
God damn.
I know, right? Just killing everybody. Like, the witches are killing everybody. Also, like, let's be real, though. Was Ghost Rider really going to stand a chance against... Like,
I mean, that's fair.
Did we see Nick Cage's Ghost Rider ending up in like the final Secret Wars team?
No,
I mean,
really.
let's be real. I as much as I like that film, I didn't see that happening. So, whatever. The 3 witches kill Ghost Rider, and Doom's followers fight Yelena and Shuri. Shuri manages to defeat her, but dies from her wounds.
Damn.
That's interesting. Thor looks to the sky, closes his eyes, and receives Odin's call. The new armor and new power, yellow armor with yellow thunder, rivals Doom in battle. Thor takes the initiative in this fight. However, at a certain point, Thor begins to lose his power, and his strength starts to dwindle as Doom drains it to absorb it. He defeats Thor by cutting off his hand with his sword and defeating the Avengers. Reed's ship automatically activates and leaves Earth 2-8. Reed, calling for Sue and Franklin, is unable to save them. Sentry crashes and the worlds begin to collide. The heroes simply ran out of time. So the incursion happens, which is really interesting. They don't stop the incursion from happening. Like 616 and 828 actually do collide. Strange completes Wanda's spell just in time. With this, Victor is finally able to alter the multiverse. Thus, reality ceases to exist. The 2 Earths collide, the screen fades to black, and Doom appears in white armor, seated in a chair next to Doctor Strange. Roll credits. Now, the only other thing that we see here is that it says, as we can see, this is verbatim what it says, as we can see, the post-credit scene of the Spider-Man movie, I'm assuming that's Spider-Man Brand New Day, echoes the ending of the Judgment Day movie, which I'm assuming is Doomsday. So
yeah,
I'm thinking that was, again, this was another leak weeks ago, was that one of the post-credit scenes for Doomsday would be showing that Toby and Logan actually survived. that incursion, that they made it out of the Raimi universe before it bit the dust.
But it wasn't an incursion, though. It was they blew up the universe.
That's fair. But somehow they made it out of the Raimiverse before it was blown up.
Uh-huh.
And there was another plot leak long ago that said that one of the post-credit scenes of Doomsday would be showing that Toby and Hugh Jackman actually survived. So, and that fits, again, that's something that fits, that coincides with this plot leak as well. I'm assuming the Spidey tracker was actually showing Toby on another planet, whatever. I don't know. I don't know where they'll end up. I don't know. But that's the end. That's the whole thing. It's a lot. It's a lot of information, and it's a long one. It's one of the longer plot leaks that I've ever read, and certainly that we've ever covered.
Yeah, it looks like a lot from the reflection that you showed me.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a lot, dude. You basically just read me through a fucking movie at this point. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
As soon as I read it, I was like, the stuff. There's things that don't make sense, obviously. Like, and again, I said it at the beginning of the video. I feel like a lot of times with these plot leaks, you know, I think we end up meeting somewhere in the middle, right? It's not verbatim what you read in a lot of these things.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of things that are probably true. What do you think about Sentry dying? I expected Sentry to make it to Secret Wars and be kind of important, because in the comic books, Sentry is very important to Secret Wars. You know?
Yeah.
So
wait, how did Sentry die again?
In this plot leak?
Yeah.
It said he dies in the incursion. Like I think. Let me go back.
If he dies in the incursion, he might be coming back.
Let me see. Hang on. So the war in New York, the war in New York is wreaking havoc on the city. You know, Spider-Man. Everyone's fighting Doombots and the witches in New York. It's a huge battle sequence. Whatever. On Earth 828, Sue, Franklin, and Charles are aboard Reed's ship, which is the Ark, prepared to withstand any change in a hostile environment and capable of surviving the collapse of the multiverse. Sue stays behind. She's pregnant. Charles acts as a mental link with all of the mutants in the Avengers so that they communicate with each other. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of dope. Bob informs them that Bob is slowing down the other Earths so that they can escape. It just says he says goodbye to her and her friends. That's the last that we hear of Sentry. So I guess we don't know that he dies, but he says goodbye to Yelena as if he's going to die, because he's just the way I read that is that Sentry is physically putting himself between 616 and 828.
So he's like the first to go, probably,
to try to slow down the incursion of the two Earths colliding.
So he's the first to go in the incursions. That doesn't particularly mean that he dies.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and if you remember, there was leaked concept art earlier of Sentry in chains. So I don't know. Maybe Doom ends up yoinking him out of the incursion somehow, and he's got him imprisoned on Battleworld. I don't know. There's a lot of information here, and there's a lot to pick through and a lot to comb over. I think the big beats here are correct, and maybe some things were embellished. I mean, the thing that I think sounds the most fan fiction-y is the whole, basically every character that we've ever known appearing at the end of this movie.
Yeah, but it sounds like such a like a pass through.
Right. Like I could see them it just being cameo kind of things. Like, yeah, cool fight scene, the Hulk is fighting somebody, but like they could CGI the Hulk with it. Like, I don't know that we would even see Tom Holland's face. I don't know that we would actually need to hear Mark Ruffalo's voice as the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, they could just CGI the Hulk, like, just screwing shit up in New York and fighting Doombots, and, like, that'd be awesome. You know? Now, like, Carol Danvers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, the Defenders. Dog, what the hell are the Defenders going to do?
Oh, no.
What is Luke Cage going to do against Doombots? Like... Well,
okay. Like, Luke Cage is literally made of, like, he's like invulnerable. Like, that's the whole point of him. Like, the man is like, he cannot be hurt. So, like, yeah, he could take his own on some Doombots. Also, the Doombots are probably very similar. The Doombots are probably similar to the Iron Legion, though.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, like, their
Probably.
durability is that of the
Yeah.
Avengers, the Iron Legion thing. So I
Yeah.
could either or maybe like fucking the Ultron bots. Like,
Yeah. And
yeah.
in turn, what do you think about the X-Men using Sentinels? I think that's kind of cool because the Sentinels have always been like a villain of the X-Men, right? Like
Hmm.
that's always
Hmm.
been used against them. I think of the
Well,
scene in The Last
it's
Stand where like they're the training sequence thing where
hmm
Logan's like, "Throw me." He's like,
yeah,
"What? Throw me?" You know, whatever. Like that whole thing. Like,
yeah.
I think it's cool that the X-Men are using Sentinels to attack other universes, and then Doom kind of flips that around and controls the Sentinels to attack the Avengers and the X-Men. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's
So,
pretty ironic and poetic, I suppose. The fact that
yeah,
the instrument of the mutant genocide in that universe ends up becoming their very own instrument of their own genocide for their sake of
yeah,
safety, only for it to
yeah,
be turned back around on them where their universe dies. Wait, I thought it
right.
was because it was the X-Men universe is gone by the end of the plot leak
Yes,
already, and the
yes.
incursion
Doom.
was Fantastic Four and 616.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last three remain after Toby's Earth is destroyed. The Raimiverse is destroyed. Then we're left with the three: 616, Fox X Men, and Fantastic Four, which I guess is 828. And then Doom destroys the Fox X Men universe, and then that would leave the final. So the final incursion is between 616 and 828, between the MCU timeline and the Fantastic Four timeline, where Loki sent Steve.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's
I will
interesting.
be I will
It's a
be
lot
sad
of
about Loki's
information.
death. That'd be sad.
Yeah. What do you think about them not showing it? Like an off-screen death, like you just realizing that Doom ripped his heart out.
Yeah, I think it's weird because Loki is the god of stories in this. He's the one that's
Yeah.
holding every branch of
Yeah.
the timeline together. So anytime his hand is not in contact with it, it doesn't hold life on it, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
the
I don't know.
second he dies, everything has to collapse. Basically, that's kind of what it was inferring to in regards to like the multiverse. Like,
Right.
yes, there are multiverses, but Loki is beyond the multiverse already. Like the TVA itself, it's outside the universes and different branch timelines. If I
Yeah.
understand this correctly, because that's the whole point of Loki in season 2 is the whole universe was already dead,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
he pretty much revived it and turned it to Yggdrasil,
Mm-hmm.
the life tree. So I was confused by that.
Yeah.
It would be cool if Loki and Odin are the ones that gives Thor
Yeah.
his god his Odin
Yeah.
power. That'd be dope.
What do you think about Doom cutting off his arm?
Saw it in Thor 2. Been there,
Dude
done
put
that.
dude pulled a Rick Grimes, man. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of cool things in there, and there's a lot of things where I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if that's gonna
Yeah.
end up being
So
legit.
give me a percentage. Give me a percentage of how much you think it would be in the film.
I
You
would,
throw one, I throw one.
I would, I would be willing to bet, and I could very much be wrong. I would be willing to bet that between 60 and 65% of this is probably pretty legit,
Yeah, I'd be
and
somewhere
the
along the lines of
other
50 to 60.
probably 40% of it,
Mm-hmm.
45% of it is probably embellished, or we just don't know. I mean, I
Yeah,
certainly think that there are things, and this is, I say this because, I mean, shoot, we thought we knew everything about Halloween Kills,
we
as
thought we knew
horror
everything
people.
about
Like,
No Way Home.
we thought we knew everything about that too. Like, and we didn't. Like, I don't think anybody, even the scooper people, even the leakers, even all of these channels that read every single plot leak, like nobody ever gets it 100% correct. It's like weather, like it's literally like meteorology. Like you can do your best and you can like find all of the information and everything, but like at the end of the day, like you're kind of making a guess, like it's throwing darts at a dartboard, and
Yeah.
some things are going to land and some things aren't. And I think that's the same treatment with this plot leak. Like I think some things are probably legit, some things probably are not. I think, and there are some things that don't quite make sense, like the witches thing. Like I don't fully understand that, part of it. I don't fully understand. What was it like? The whole the timeline of Loki again, like you said, Loki leaving Yggdrasil to go talk to Steve, like not doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense unless he
The
did that
whole
before he
yeah.
became the god of story. Like I don't know. The timeline is weird. It's kind of the
Well,
timeline kind of screws with my head a little bit.
Yeah. Because he was able to stop time, stuff like that. Maybe he can be a different branch or a different type of Loki. I don't know. But the whole point of Loki becoming the whole emotional part of Loki becoming the god of stories is the fact that he cannot leave his post. He is the one literally gripping the timelines together. So it's just ironic that something like that would happen. But maybe this was during his time when he was like jumping through different timelines and he met Steve before he became the god of stories and he's like, call me or whatever. It's interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know. It is definitely a long shot, I'd say, for this leak.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are interesting, and there's a lot of things that I don't fully, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to dive into it. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Don't,
Yeah, this hour and 2 minute video.
For real, do not take any of this to the bank because again, in our experience and what we've read and what we've seen and what we've covered on our channel, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, and usually the final product, what you actually see in theaters, is somewhere in the middle, right? It's somewhere between what you think is going to happen. I mean, Multiverse of Madness was another one. God, we thought Toby was going to show up. We thought everybody was going to show up in that movie, and there were cameos that we didn't expect, and there were things that we didn't expect, and there were things that it was like, yep, that was in one of the plot leaks, like. So, I don't know. It's interesting. And who knows? Maybe 75% of this is bullshit. It's all wrong. I don't know. I don't know. So, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this huge Avengers Doomsday plot leak? Do you want this to be true? If this ended up being pretty verbatim the plot of the film, are you good with that? Or is this not what you wanted it to be at all? I don't know. I know a lot of people are a little weirded out by the fact that Doom is like their friend, quote unquote, or they think he's their friend for like 60% of the movie. But
I don't know. I
kind of expected that. You know what I mean?
It's a decent bait and switch kind of thing, if I'm being honest.
It is, and obviously it's not for the audience, but to see the characters realize that they've been baited, is interesting. So
yeah.
Again, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This was a fun one to read through and to talk about. It made me excited, just regardless of whether it's true or not. As a fan, I was like, I have to talk about this with people. I have to talk about this with Miguel because it made me excited for the film reading it. So we will be jamming to Christmas music all the way up until it, and then drive to Doomsday.
That's very true.
Probably driving home in silence because we're going to be just like completely destroyed by what ends up happening in that film. But
yeah,
guys, be sure to leave this one a like if you have not already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do it. What the hell are you waiting on? This weekend, we've got a couple of different watch-alongs. We are watching House of Wax from 2005, and we are also watching The Hills Have Eyes from 2006.
We're gonna have some fun.
Not my kind of movie, but it will be a fun weekend. I'm excited to rewatch both of those films. We're in the middle of our Oktoberfest Reborn event where we're taking a deep dive into 2000 slasher remakes. So it's gonna be a good time this weekend. Again, we made a slight change. We're doing that The Hills Have Eyes watch along on Friday, I believe, and then House of Wax on Saturday. So be sure to join us for that. We just did our Friday the 13th, 2009 watch along last weekend, and that was a blast. I hadn't watched that one in a little while. So be sure to leave it a like. We're Brad Miguel from Let's Talk Movies. Again, be sure to leave us a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this leak. And don't mess around with dark magic because it
please
makes you do weird things to different universes.
Make you turn green.
And if Tobey Maguire dies, I'm leaving the theater as a child and crying all the way home. Christmas will be ruined if Toby dies.
Adults will cry in this.
Yeah, for real. It's going to be so much darker than Infinity War and Endgame. I really think it's going to be. So I'm excited. All right, bye.
Later.
Doombots!